Everyone, it's Nicole, and I'm here to work on Project 100. But right now, the next few weeks, we're going to be concentrating on making 60 kits to bring to my October crop. And right now, I've checked, and I have 20 page kits that have the papers and the embellishments. So that's how I'm going to kind of figure out how many I have. There is way more stuff that I need to do. So first step is choosing the papers, which I have a stack of those already done. The next step is we're going to be adding a lot of embellishments. Then the next step is to cut digital files and add cardstock. And right now, that's what we're going to do today. Then we're going to add washies and sketches. Then we're going to add photos, the journaling, and some titles on wax paper. These two last steps really helped me finish off the kits, if you will, or the pages last time, because it was so easy. And then when I ran out of the titles on the wax paper and the cut digi files, my production level really dropped. Now, that being said, I still got 42 pages done at my last crop. I got there late. Did I get there late? No, I didn't get there late. Sorry. I got there on time. It was the time before that I got late. I got there on time. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that the digital files weren't cut, one. And two, we left early on this Sunday, like really early. I think my last page, I finished it at 12:30. We could have stayed till 4. So that's another, 4 to 6 pages, depending on how long, I take to make a page or whatever. But the biggest thing was because my digital files weren't cut. I think I had them cut for the first 12 pages or something. And I basically, the first night we were there, we started, let's say, at 4. And I went to bed at 11. From 4 to 11, I got all of those 11 or 12 pages done. And then the next day, it kind of slowed down because I had to take time to cut this. Now, I figure that to cut all this up for each page kit is about 10 minutes per page. So with 40 pages, that means I can cut apart 6 pages per hour, right? And with 42 pages, that means that, well, we'll be fair and say that 10 of them or 12 of them were already cut. So it was like 6 hours. 6 or 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours of cutting digital files. So if those would have been done, oh, that's the wrong color. If those would have been done, I probably would have gotten, I don't know, I got 42. I probably would have gotten all of my 48 pages done for sure, because I left early. And I went to bed early every night. The second night, I think it was 10 o'clock. I was like, okay, I am done. I'm not a night owl, okay? I think it's because for 14 years, I worked night shifts. And now I'm like, I am not staying up late. Like, if I can go to bed early, I'm going to go to bed early. Like, even our 6-week vacation that we were just on, I was in bed at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, I would watch maybe 2 episodes. I watched Scorpion on my trip because I was able to download it on my iPad because a lot of times we didn't even have any internet connection or anything like that, right? So I had downloaded a bunch of episodes, and then whenever I'd always bring my iPad wherever we went, and if we had any kind of connection, I would download a few more episodes. And because they limit how many episodes you can download. So I would download as many as I could. And then every time we'd go somewhere where I'd have 5G, then I would connect my iPad and download more episodes. So I got all of the seasons watched. But then I go to bed. Like I cannot stay up late. I just can't do it. I like to get up, you know, not crazy early. Like I'm not up at 5 or 6, but I'm usually awake. Sometimes I'm awake at that time, but I don't get up. That's when I will watch, you know, a couple YouTube videos or whatever, or plan my day. I'll write down what I want to do or things like that. And then I just get up and get started. And usually, you know, by 8, 9 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I've had enough of the day. Enough of the day. And then I usually read a little bit. I am so far behind on my reading. Well, not too bad. I'm about 10 books behind, which I thought it was going to be a whole lot worse than that after vacation, because basically all I did on vacation was listen to audiobooks. It's really hard to read when you're walking or, you know, doing other things. And especially when you're like 6 or 7 hours in a vehicle, I cannot read. But I could listen to audiobooks. I did listen to a few audiobooks. And now that we're back, I started reading again. I think tomorrow, you know, I took a day and I just re-cleaned the house. It was dusty. I mean, 6 weeks gone. So I dusted, vacuumed, you know, did all that stuff, washed the bathrooms again, did the laundry that we needed to be done. And from our trip last few days, we had done laundry just before we did our last kind of trip home. But, you know, there was still some laundry, and I washed all the sheets from our trailer and all that. And so that took about a day. I still haven't cleaned the trailer. That's going to be on Friday. I figured I would just get a bunch of stuff done since I'm already in the mood. Like I'm in the mood to do it. So just do it. And then you can do the trailer on Friday. That's not a big deal. It'll get done. I had cleaned it just before we made our trip home. I just want to go through. I want to go through like the cupboards, take everything out and all that stuff and rearrange. Oh yeah, I want to put foam tape on these guys. So I want to do that. So I'll do that on Friday, just before the weekend. It'll work out perfectly. I have to go to the dentist tomorrow, so by the time you see this, it'll be like 3 weeks ago. I'm trying to I just loved, you know, before I went on vacation, I had all my videos all uploaded, all ready to go on YouTube and on Patreon. And I'm like, you know what? On Patreon, you have videos till the end of August, but just keep going. So I did the page kits today, and I did also for the live for September. And now I'm doing a bunch of videos for YouTube, and I'm going to edit them right away, and I'm going to put them up. And same with Patreon. As soon as I get them done, I'm going to upload them to my computer and edit them and put them up. So try to keep the momentum going here. I am creatively recharged. Oh, I hit the camera. Sorry. Okay. I think physically I'm a little poop, but I didn't overdo it either, right? Because I did go to bed early every night, so I didn't overdo it that way. But we had long days. Long days. There we go. And some people were like, oh, I bet you'll never do that again, like that long of a drive. I don't mind the drive. I don't mind the drive at all. And I can tell you, Dave and I were talking about that while we were driving. Like compared to years ago when you're trying to figure out where you're going and, you know, you have to use like paper maps or whatever you had printed off. Google Maps, hello. Loved it. I have to say, I do have quite a few kind of funny stories of where it brought us, but apart from that, it worked pretty well. It worked pretty well. And it was funny because there was one thing that, you know, depending, it was weird because if I went on Harvest Host and I went from Google Maps there, it was a girl voice. She was awful. She would only tell us last minute, okay, turn or whatever. Or, you know, Mason said she was rude because she'd be like, turn now. And, but if I did it from the Google Maps from my phone, we had a boy voice, a guy voice, and he was really good. He would be like, not this light, but the next light, you're going to take a left. Or stay in the left, the 2 left lanes, right? Like he would tell you exactly in which lane you need it to be, which is really important when you're in big cities and you're, you know, driving in a lot of traffic, which there's Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto that are really kind of bad for traffic, right? And on the way there, thankfully, because on the way back, it didn't give me the option, but there's a highway that's Highway 30, and you miss all of the craziness of Montreal, which on the way there, even though it was a toll highway, it put me on it. Or I think it gave me the option, and it said it was shorter, like, because it gives you time. And I clicked on it. I was like, I don't care if we have to pay. It was like $11. And sometimes you can get, you know, in a parking lot for a couple of hours. And plus, with a trailer, their roads are super narrow. So it can be kind of nerve-wracking. So for $11.45, I think it was, you know, when we got through it, we're like, well, that was painless. And it was so fast. Like we got through that so quickly. And then when we left on a Sunday, which there's no construction on a Sunday. It was very well, we thought that out, right? We're like, we're going to leave on a Sunday because there's no construction. Because usually at the beginning of Quebec, like when we just get into the border, it's always there that we get stuck on construction. And then you get kind of, you know, in construction for like, it could be an hour, you know, or 25 minutes. So we left on a Sunday. So I can honestly say there was one time we were going through this little town and we got stopped on the way to BC. We got stopped for, it was on the 8th of July because that's when we were going to BC. For construction, it was less than 10 minutes. And then we went through that and that was it. That was the worst of construction that we got. And I think there's one time that we didn't have the trailer that we kind of got heavy traffic in Montreal. On the way back, we had the trailer. We were on our way home. And all of a sudden, it was like we could tell ahead that traffic was stopped, like literally stopped. And we're like, okay, what's going on? And with Google Map, I looked down and it said a delay of an hour and a half. So there must have been an accident. And it gave me an alternate route. And it was just like the exit that was right next to us. Like we had to make the decision. I'm like, take it, take it, take it. And we took it. And yes, it was back roads. The, you know, speed limit was like maybe down to 60 kilometers per hour and, you know, that kind of stuff, narrow roads, but it was back roads. And, you know, if the highway wasn't down, it probably was half an hour more. But if you have to stop for an hour and a half, then you're ahead to take the back roads. So we did that. And then we came out on the other side of the accident. Because again, I could look at Google Map and see or Google Map actually, when it gave me the alternate route, had figured out, you know, the out already. So that was awesome. We love that. So there was, you know, many times that it saved us like that. And that was the biggest one. The only thing I would say is make sure that your plan has a lot of gigabytes, because I think, and that's all I used it for basically. And it used about 45 gigs to go there just one way. So it was probably the same on the way back. But I have a plan that I have 75 gigs, so I wasn't too worried. And most of the places we didn't even have like any internet connection, so it's not as if I was going to use it. But the plans that we have now, it's not that, like before, if you went over your plan, you could end up getting like a $200 bill, right? Well, now what they do is you still get internet, it's just really slow. It's not at the standard of, you know, at the higher. And I'm like, well, whatever. By the time we come home, I'll have Wi-Fi, so I don't care if it uses up all my gigs, because that's really, you know, the only time. Which in the summer, I use it a lot because at the trailer, they have sucky internet connection. So we don't use the campground one for sure. But our friends brought their TV stuff, so we have TV there. They have, they gave us a box so we could watch TV, which is awesome. And we can connect to their Wi-Fi, so it's pretty cool. So I don't have to worry about that there. Okay. I want to put foam tape on all these butterflies. I'm still going to bring foam tape, but I just have a very small roll left. And that's not, you know, I don't want to bring this big one because I'm really trying to be minimalistic. So I just want to bring that small roll, and I don't want to have to put foam tape on all those. Plus it takes time. And the thing that kind of stumped me last time is I tried to do the cutting of the digital files the week that I was going. Well, you know, I always try to get everything done around the house before I go. So everything is, you know, all done up or all washed up, or you know what I mean, like laundry and everything's clean. I try to keep my house clean anyway, but you know, sometimes you just need to do that extra vacuuming and extra laundry and all this stuff. Do the bathroom again or whatever the case may be. So, and plus trying to get all the pages ready to go. And I was like, I think I did, maybe it was more than 10. I can't remember. It wasn't much. I was like, oof. You know, I got 48 pages and I don't have many that I did this. Now, what I did while I was there, one night when I was done, I just can't create anymore. I sat, and just before I went upstairs, I took time and I think I cut for about an hour. I cut some digital files, like from, you know, 5 or 6 page kits. So the next morning when I started, it was like, boom, I just did a whole bunch because they were already all done up. Now today what I did too is I put all my sketches, because I do sketches for Patreon, 2 sketches a month, and then we use them 2 different ways. Each sketch, we do 2 different layouts with them. And the thing with sketches is, you know, you can use them as a base and then you can just tweak it, right? So I put all the sketches together, and I only had, I counted, the last time I did this, I did 6 page kits. Well, I don't want to do just 6 that I add the washi and all that. I don't need to add another cardstock. There's this in there, so I think I'll be okay. So I don't want to just do 6 that I add the washi and what's the next? Washi and sketches. So I have 20 page kits that are ready. I have it here, 20 that I have the papers and the embellishments that need the digital files cut. So I'll try to do as many as I can in the next few days. And then with those, I'm going to move on to the next step. And I'll do washis and I'll do sketches. I'm not going to add a sketch to each one, although I counted and I think I have almost 50 sketches. So I could almost put a sketch to each one, but I think what I'm going to do, if I have 60, I think I'm going to at least do, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to use the sketch every time, but if it's there, then I have the option, and it's just throwing a piece of paper in there and making sure I have the right amount of photos. So it's not a big deal, right? Okay, do I have anything to cut out of this? I have enough cardstock, but I think everything's cut out. Let me make sure here. And there's a few things too that I've noticed is that there's a few times I'm like, oh, I didn't have enough. Okay, I'm going to use squares in this one, but everything's cut out already. Yay. Okay, so we'll just put this back. But I know I have my cardstock and everything's cut out. I'm going to try and cut all those 20, which I think by the next session, I'll pretty much have them all done. The next session, I'll probably do 8 page kits, and it'll be 20, because the last 2 sessions, I'm doing 6, I think, each time, because that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I did 6 last time, 6 this time, and next time I'll just do 8. And then I'll have all 20, and then I'll move on to the next step with just those 20. And I'll probably do them all at once. And I have a wire basket, and I took some flexible placemats, I guess they're called, and I put on there, I didn't put just paper, because paper, I have my iris containers that I have, like the paper kits, but I put embellies. So as I'm doing them, and I do the embellies that are not cut apart, do you know, the digital files aren't cut apart, I'll put them there. And then once I cut them apart, I have that the digi file is cut. And then I have another part where, you know, washi and sketches are going to be done, right? And then, yeah, I'll have one for there. And then, I don't know, I might, when I do the photos, no, the photos, will be their own thing. I think I'll do one that, okay, now there's photos in it. And then once I do the journaling and the title on wax paper, because that's going to be its own thing, then I'll move them over to the 100% done. Oh, washi sketches, and maybe I can put, maybe like ribbons and twine. Okay, so I'll have all of that out. I have this that I glued to my thing here, so then I don't have to take it out. Twine and ribbon. Okay, so then when I'm actually doing this, I can just look right there and I can say, okay, that's the next step. And I actually numbered the steps. So that'll be good. I probably should use my big scissors for this, but I don't know where they, oh, they're right there. I put them just in a different basket, and just the fact that it's, you know, was 8 inches over, I didn't see them. Yeah, that's much easier. Much easier. I like those definitely for intricate stuff, but whenever I have like a long straight line that I want to do, it's good to have long scissors, because then you can just do one quitch of the scissors. Okay, like for this, I'll probably use these detailed scissors, and that too, like what I'll do is I'll cut all the straight lines first, and then I'll do this part, and it makes it so much easier. Boop, boop. Okay, I'm just throwing stuff left and right here. Let's get the garbage out. I'll probably use that owl not punched out, so. And then this way, I won't need to bring my punches. I won't need to bring extra digital files, because again, I'll probably have extras, and then when I'm finishing off some pages, I'll probably have extras of everything. I'm noticing I don't have a lot of arrows, so I'll probably bring the digi files of arrows. Maybe, because I like to add arrows. I really do, and a lot of these don't have the arrows. Okay, so, oof, I have 2 big butterflies. I don't think I want to do, maybe. Let's just go with it. It'll just go with the flow. Go with the flow. So I'll put it on here. The bigger ones take a little bit more foam tape, but that's okay. Just like that. Another thing I have to do is I have to make page kits, and I don't want to go into these because I'm taking the time to cut everything out, but I need to make page kits to do for, you know, pages I want to do here for YouTube. So I think next week, is it on Mondays? That is a page? No, it's Fridays. Okay, so Monday I can make some page kits for the page for next Friday. I'll probably just do like 7, maybe 8. And then 8 we'll do like 2 months worth, right? Once a week, 2 months worth. Perfect. And then I can go back and work on the pages for this. Okay. Is that outside? Yes, it is. That's my little owl that I cut. Okay. We have one more, and then we'll stop it here. We'll stop it here. But the last time that I did, you know, the 48 pages for my crop, I did all the 48 paper kits all at once. Then I added all of the embellishments one after the other, you know, maybe not in one day, but I would just do it over and over. So when I got to cutting out these out, you know, it can be tedious if you're trying to do 48, right? So if we're only August right now, and I'm going on October 28th. So if I do that now, and then the week of, I have maybe 10 to get ready, that's not a big deal. I don't like doing stuff last minute, right? I like to be prepared. So I started before we went on vacation because I started a whole bunch of make a page kit. I knew my mind just wasn't there to add embellishments. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do all 60, you know? I'm pretty sure I have 60. I'll do all 60 that I'm choosing the pattern papers. And when I come back, then I'll do this. But now that I've done that, now I'm going to sometimes kind of take a break and cut the digital files that I've put in these page kits. And then I won't have to do a whole bunch all at once. Okay, so that's 6 for today. We're going to stop there. Next time, I'll probably do, 6 or 8, but by then I'll probably have more, in there, because my next video I'm going to do is actually adding embellishments to some of those paper kits that I did before I went on vacation, and keep plugging away and trying to bring 60 with me. If I can bring more, I'll bring more, but my goal is to bring 60. But if I have 70 ready, I'll just bring the 70, and then I'll get done as many as I can get done. And what I can't get done will be extra pages that I can put together, either live on YouTube or, some videos. Okay, I'm going to insert this video before I say bye. Another thing I did was I took one of these little sheets and I put 1 to 60 on it. And I'm writing or putting it down on each kit. And then this is what I'm going to coordinate with this. So P8, then the journaling for P8 will be for this page. I don't know what the journaling is quite yet. I will only decide that, right, once I choose my pictures. But since I have them out, I might as well put them on now. And this is another counter for me, right? This is another counter because I wrote it all the way down. I don't have to go back and see, okay, what page was I on and what's the next one? I just literally take the next sticker. So now I know that I have 12 page kits that all my digital files are cut. Okay, so that's it. We're going to stop it here. So I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.